Svetlana Solonska is the widow of an Azov regiment officer named Vladislav. She last heard from him on July 26, 2022, 3 days before the explosions.
There was a short message from him. He wrote, "I kiss you, hug you, I'm waiting to meet you."
Solonska's husband helped to defend Mariupol at the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In May 2022, he and other Azov regiment soldiers were ordered to surrender. Russians transported them to the penal colony in the Russian-controlled town of Olenivka, near Donetsk, in eastern Ukraine.
On the 27th or 28th, I saw a Russian TV video that was shot in Olenivka, and I saw my husband there.
On the night of July 29th, explosions ripped through the building, destroying the barracks where Solonska later discovered that her husband had been.
There were 193 people in the barracks. More than 50, we don't even know the exact number, died.
The Ukrainian Media Initiative for Human Rights started its own investigation immediately after the tragedy. Activists found and interviewed eyewitnesses, most of them soldiers who were in the barracks and later released from captivity.
We interviewed up to 10 soldiers and 2 Ukrainian medics who provided first aid that day. Also, we have testimony from an Azov soldier who was ordered to clean up the bodies from the barracks the next day.
These testimonies are the only way to form an evidence base, activists say.
Neither independent experts nor Ukrainian officials had the opportunity to inspect the scene. Russia didn't allow it, so evidence from eyewitnesses becomes more critical because no other evidence is left.
Ukrainian officials accuse Russia of committing a war crime at Olenivka. Russian officials claim the explosions were caused by a Ukrainian missile strike by a HIMARS rocket. A UN analysis has since discounted that possibility. The exact cause of the explosion is impossible to determine without having access to the site and an investigation on the ground. But activists say they can substantiate claims that Ukrainian prisoners at Olenivka were the victims of Russian war crimes, including inadequate feeding, improper isolation from relatives and outside agencies, and reports of torture. Solonska holds Russia responsible for her husband's death. She said he lost a large amount of blood while waiting for help.
His comrade who was with him that night told me later that my husband was badly injured. They had to wait until morning for prison workers to take him to the hospital.
Activists say Olenivka prison, notorious for reports of torture that went on there, is no longer operating. All prisoners of war have been transferred to other facilities either in Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine or to Russia. The exact locations of Ukrainian captured soldiers from Olenivka penal colony are unknown. Lesia Bakalets for VOA News, Warsaw.